Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Earthen's Den. And in this episode, I want to talk to you guys about starting where you are and pretty much just like following your own path. One of the things that I noticed with so many people today is that everybody's pretty much trying to do the same exact thing. And I think something that I have observed from entrepreneurs and artists and just content creators and anybody who's in this space, the truth is that you just have to start with what you have. I think that society pretty much teaches us that we're not enough, that we, if we don't have this certain amount of knowledge, if we don't have this together, we don't have that together. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think when it comes to doing certain things, like there are certain factors that really do have to be in place and certain things do need to be considered. But I really just feel like at the end of the day, you guys, so many people just start. You have to learn. I think the truth is that a lot of people are afraid of failure. And I think a lot of people are afraid of making mistakes. But the thing about life is that it's nothing more than mistakes. It's nothing more than failures. It's nothing more than learning from those things. And I think for me, it's a matter of keeping a slow and steady pace and just progressing. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to make a mistake. Like, yeah, okay, maybe I am probably going to fail a lot more than other people in regards to just like trying new things. Because for me, I'd much rather just go ahead and do it my way, figure it out, and then just learn as I go. I think when it comes to so many people are just stuck on like safe. So many people are really just in a position where, they don't really want to try anything new. They don't want to do anything differently. And the truth is that when it comes to like entrepreneurship and artistry, you guys, that you have to just follow your own path. Like you don't know what may work. Like I've just found so many people who don't want to do something, or they stop what they're doing, or they never start what they're doing, because so many people are like, oh, you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way. And, I've seen people actually just start. And if it's really for them, if it's what they're meant to do, if they're doing what they love, then they pretty much just soar. You know what I mean? Like they soar and they're really good at it. And it's so crazy because I talk to people, like I still talk to people every day. And you guys, honestly, a lot of people are actually not in the spaces of like entrepreneurship. And a lot of people are not in a mindset of like grind, hustle, work, and all of those things. You know what I mean? So don't ever feel like you can't do something because you feel like a lot of people are doing it or you're missing out on something, because honestly, that's not literally the everyday person. You know what I mean? That's not going to be like if you line 10 people up, maybe there's one of them, but for the most part, the other 9 are kind of just like wishing and hoping on a star. Another thing too, you guys, it's so important to understand this in life. Like if you're not growing, if you're not trying things, if you're not progressing, if you're not working towards what it is that you want to some capacity, like you're not pushing yourself, you're not doing anything outside of the ordinary, you're not going to be successful. Like I don't know why people think that success is just going to fall upon them. Like that's just not how life works. I meet so many people, and honestly, I'm going to have to say that this actually is very common in regards to women. I think a lot of women, I don't really know what young women are hoping for or what they're expecting, but I meet so many young women who are like, yes, I want to be rich, I want the Benz, I want the AMG, I want all of these things, and they're not taking the initiative to really make this stuff happen. Like if you're not doing anything differently, if you're letting the days go by, the years go by, you're not going to be successful. I don't exactly know. Like I think a lot of people, I can't really speak for men. I feel like with men, it's a little less likely, and I don't really meet a lot of men who are kind of just like, yeah, I'm going to be successful, and they're not putting forth any effort. But I got to keep it real. Like when it comes to women, I just see so many young women who are like, yeah, I want to be successful, but they're not making anything happen. Like you guys, you have to put forth the effort, and it can be in any direction. Like I know for myself, I have a very interesting story, a very interesting journey, but it's similar to some of the people that I look up to, like some of the people that I like tap into or whatever, you know what I mean? And the truth is that I've done so many different things, like, and I continuously do so many different things. And, one thing leads to the next and the next, and it's continuous. Like, I really do believe God's word. Like, you have to sow different seeds because you really don't know what may pop for you. You know what I mean? And I think for me, as long as I'm young and I'm I'm willing to put my hands in different things and try different things. I get what everybody's like, yeah, you want to start that one thing and have other things going off of that. But I think being somebody who's ADD is such an advantage because I really am a good multitasker. And I learned from myself personally, whenever I want to do something, I do it to the very best. Like I am such a I'm not gonna say a perfectionist, but I am the woman of improvement in regards to like my work and the things that I'm about and the things that I want to do. I'm very gifted in like creativity. Like I really just maximize on my potential and my strengths in regards to what it is that I want to do. So me personally, having that passion as well as the work ethic, as well as the gifting in certain areas, I love what I do and I love creating things and I love trying things and acting on ideas. So I just pretty much stay in my own realm. I pretty much just stay in my own lane and I just pretty much work it. But at the end of the day, I do believe that setting goals is real. I think that your dreams are like completely possible, like 100%. But I just feel like you have to put forth the work, you guys. Like it doesn't always have to be something major. Like literally, you can just start. I would have never thought with my book I would be here. You know what I mean? Even though I think for me personally, from a marketing standpoint, it was definitely a failure. But literally starting a blog after I left college, you know, having no clue where that would even take me, even like impacting people and inspiring people on that blog, like it was so amazing. Like for the first time, I'm like seeing stats from people who are like in China and Pakistan and like South Africa. I mean, it was so crazy. Like, and I'm not like, I was just in awe, you know what I mean? Because I was just from Cincinnati. Like I didn't even, you know what I mean? So like, that just made all the difference. And even just now having a finished copy of my book, like it's so awesome. And I just look forward to the other things that I'm going to do. But if you never start, you're never going to know, you know what I mean? You're never going to know if you never start. And I can guarantee you that anything you want to do is very easy to do in regards to starting because it's been done before. So it's not like it's completely impossible. Like anything you want to do for the most part has been, somebody's done it. Now they've done it in their own way, in their own right, at their own will, but it's been done before. So you can totally do it. You know what I mean? And so I really don't think it has to be perfect. I don't believe that you have to have everything lined up. And another thing too, you guys, when it comes to like entrepreneurship and you get to a point where you're like building a team, make sure you have ethics. Like I think so many people lack empathy. Like if you don't really know how to connect with others, I don't think that you should be an entrepreneur. Like I'm just going to be 100% honest. Like I don't feel like you have to be like so like a toxic empathy to where you're pretty much just like carrying the weight of everybody and you're, you know, putting other people before you and all of those things. Like I don't think in a negative sense that's healthy for entrepreneurship, but I definitely feel like when it comes to just being an entrepreneur, you need to really care about people. Like, and I just noticed with so many people, they negate that and people think like, oh, I got to get this money. I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I hear so many people who are just now starting in the game with their businesses. They're like, oh, I'm not doing that for my time and blah, blah, blah. Like they have this sense of arrogance about them and it's not confidence. Like it's just straight up arrogance. And I think in today's society, so many people can't tell the difference between like someone who's actually confident and someone who's arrogant because arrogance is praised, ignorance is praised. And actually, I think to meet someone who's confident is pretty rare, quite frankly. I think it is very rare. And so I think for myself, I think that empathy is just so essential in regards to entrepreneurship. It's when it comes to entrepreneurship, you guys, because honestly, I didn't know that being an author and like being an artist is like in direct correlation to entrepreneurship, especially if you're out the gate and you don't have agents and you don't have all of these things yet. So I didn't know that. And one of the things that I just know for myself is like connecting with people is so important. Like if you can't work with people, then I don't really know how you intend on being a successful entrepreneur because you need people to make your business happen and make it do what it do. Right. Like, and I think another thing too is like, once you get started, you guys, you have to be consistent, like be consistent in how you show up for yourself and for others. I feel like there's so many people who say they want to do something and then you meet up with them or try to connect with them. And like people, you know, just totally don't show up. And I just don't think that that's a good look. I don't think that we're ever responsible for like the way other people perceives us. And I do think that we all have had moments of like self-sabotage, but you just want to make sure that you're just very mindful of like how you're showing up. So yes, I do think that at the end of the day, it's just starting. Like so many people are saying the same exact thing. To me, it's so boring and like I have no interest in following the crowd. So me personally, if it takes me longer or whatever the case may be, I'm always going to do my own thing because I just feel like it's my path to chart. And I do believe in like taking advice around certain things. Like I know when it comes to like systems, and when I say systems, I'm talking about like information systems, like programs, and like, you know, it just really depends. Like there are certain things I will take advice on. Like I'm not completely someone to just be like, you know, negate knowledge by any means. Like I think that we can all learn from each other, but I am really big on just like being in a space where I follow my own path. You know what I mean? And I think that is so important. And I think that so many people just want to do what everybody else is doing. And you have to understand that it may not be in your best interest, or that may not be your journey to actually do it the way in which they have done it. You see what I mean? Like, and your experiences are so valuable. If you don't get experiences, I don't really know how long you plan to be in the game. You see what I mean? Like, so I just, there's a lot to consider, I think, in regards to entrepreneurship and just artistry and starting something. Like, I think that there's a lot to consider, but first and foremost, I just want to end this by just saying, like, if you're authentic, you're going to be fine. Like, show up and be the best you that you can be. You know what I mean? Because people can feel that. And I think at the end of the day, when it comes to success, it's not a matter of obtaining it, it's becoming it. So if you can become it and you can stay in that space and sustain, right, and just continuously work on yourself, you're going to be fine at the end of the day. So that's my biggest advice to anybody who wants to start something. Work on yourself. It's about you. It's about you becoming. It's about you. You know what I mean? Becoming all in which you want to attract, because the truth is that if you don't become it, you can't sustain it. You see what I mean? So that's what I want to leave you guys with. And I hope everybody has an amazing day. It's Monday. And another thing too, you guys, if you ever start something and you fall off, I know for me, sometimes when you first start things, it's just a little habitual to have some resistance. It's just, you're humans. You're always going to have a little bit of resistance when you're doing something new, but don't ever give up on yourself. And that's something that I really pride myself on. I don't care if I made a mistake today. I don't care if I went back and did this and, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, I note it. I hold myself accountable. I don't sit in a space of pity, shame, or blame. Or even if I do, I don't dwell there. You see what I mean? I feel those emotions, all of those things. I have the thoughts. I do that. And then I get past it and I start again. So don't ever feel like you can't do something because you let yourself down in the past. No, bump that. You started it then, you can start it now. Okay? I didn't go to the gym this week, but I can go tomorrow. I didn't go today, I can go tomorrow. You see what I mean? I didn't go last week, I can go next week. You know what I mean? So don't ever feel like you can't do it. You know what I mean? Because you may have let yourself down in the past and said you couldn't do it. And I know for me, I set very high expectations for myself. So sometimes I don't even be hitting that bar, but it's cool. I still hold myself there because I know at some point I'm going to hit it as long as I continuously strive for it and I continuously progress. You know what I mean? And I have a goal in mind. So just understand that the journey is not always going to look one certain way. And I don't think that a lot of people share their journeys, mostly because I don't know, you guys. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I can't tell you everybody's life, but what I can say, people be scamming. Okay, people be scamming. People can't sit here and tell you how they did certain things because they don't even know, or they may not want to share, or they just straight up is scamming. They didn't rip some people off. So at the end of the day, y'all, everybody's story is rich, but at the same time, everybody's not sharing their story, and everybody's not called to do that. So at the end of the day, write your own story, chart your own path, and start today. So have a great week. Go out there and be a winner, because that's what we're all about. Okay, we're winners. That's what we do. We win. I'm going to leave you guys with your thoughts.